So, for those of you who may know, y'all know that I'm a father. I take pride in my fatherhood. And for those of you who've been listening to the podcast and y'all ever heard a little chipmunk or a little kid and some of the intros, some of the outros, that was my son, Jemison. And I have him here today. I know it's been a while. I know you haven't heard from me in a while. Just from transitioning, I had to, move out of my place recently, staying with my brother. But I try to keep things up to date. A lot of things have been going on in the media and sports and stuff, which I don't always talk about mostly. But a lot of things have been going on. But today, that's not this. Today, I want to have an open conversation, and I want to share that open conversation. I have my son here, Jameson King Anthony Blair, for which maybe a lot of you don't know, but I have him here today, and he's right here. So if you want to say hi, Jameson, you can say hi to the people, to the listeners, to those who are listening to Blair in the podcast. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
As you can see, I'm not the king of everything. Like, only the king of the babies. But
You're the king of the babies. What is that?
that means, like, they listen to me, but they just don't listen to me because they don't feel like listening to me because they don't think that I'm a king because I never told them because nobody never said call me because nobody never called me Jameson King Anthony Blair.
Well, King Anthony Blair is your middle name. I mean, not a lot of people are going to call you that if unless they know. And I mean, if they're not listening to you, then do you think that doesn't make you a king? Because you are a king because me and mommy know that you are a king. Do you understand what your name means?
Mm, I forgot.
So Jameson is technically is kind of ironic because my my grandfather, rest in peace to him, and my father and my brother, their middle names are all James. And Jameson means to follow after, but because, we like the name and because he is technically my junior, I just said instead of naming him Anthony Donnell Blair, we decided to name you Jameson King Anthony Blair. So you have two middle names. So even though you are a king, yes, you have to understand that being the king of babies, that holds no weight really. But I want you to recognize and understand, my son, is that when you are a king, that doesn't necessarily mean that you are bossing people around, that you are in charge. That just means that spiritually you are the head. You are the head and you are the top of in your own right. So as a father, as a man, because I am a man and you are a a you are a boy. One day you will be a man. So it is my duty to lead by example, to show you what it is to be a king. So even though your name is King Anthony, you will be a king anyway. And it's my job to make sure that you get to that place. So sometimes we us uh, take a higher responsibility, which sometimes can be trying and hard. Because you do understand, son, that daddy and mommy aren't married anymore, so we do not live together. Do you understand that? But at the same time, that doesn't mean that we don't love you. That don't mean that we don't care about you. Sometimes we all make decisions as adults, and some things can be worked out, some things cannot be worked out. And despite the decisions me or mommy made, we still love you and we still want to do our best to make sure that you are going to grow to be the man, the young man that you are meant to be. But in the meantime, how old are you?
7.
You are 7, and you still have some time, many a time, much time to be able to still be a kid before society starts holding you accountable. But at the same time, son, because you are our son and you are our responsibility, we are held accountable for anything that happens, despite whether you take medication or not, despite whether you're in school and the teachers are giving you work. Mommy and daddy are responsible. Do you understand that? What does that mean?
Yes, sir.
What?
Yes, sir.
I can't hear you.
Yes, sir.
All right, so what I want to ask you, son, is can you tell me again what you want to be when you grow up?
Police officer.
Why?
Because I can stop criminals and help the other police officers.
You can stop criminals?
Yes, and I can help the other police officers.
And what type of criminals are you implying? What type, like criminals, what are you stopping them from doing?
From robbing the bank and other stuff. And stealing money and stuff.
So is there any other reason why you want to be a police officer?
Yeah.
And what is that?
It's so I can help the other police officers.
How the other police officers do what?
Stop the other criminals.
Stop the other criminals?
Yes.
Hold on, this is your grandfather calling. Dad, me and Jameson are podcasting right now, but we can talk for a second.
I was just giving you a call. We get ready to head out. I meant to call you earlier.
Oh no.
Okay, oh yeah.
Y'all
going. Okay.
All
right, well, be safe.
Bye.
Bye, man.
Hey, good morning.
All right, now go ahead and join this podcast.
All right.
I think my nerves need to be cutted.
So you want to be a police officer so you can help police. So do you remember what Daddy told you as far as the importance of
to be good and listen?
To be good and listen, yes. But what is something that being a police officer means to you right now? What made you want to be a police officer? It's okay. You can think about it. Remember when Daddy told you that it's always about doing the right thing. So there's going to be some trials and tribulations. Remember when Daddy told you that even I forget things sometimes. Even I don't make the right decisions. Sometimes I don't do the best decisions, but it is okay as long as I redirect and readjust myself. Remember that.
My nails need to be cutted. Toenails, because it's about to come.
Your toenails need to be cut. Well, you need to put your socks back on. But do you remember when Daddy told you if you see one of your fellow police officers doing something wrong, what are you supposed to do?
Tell them to stop.
Yeah, but what, like, yeah, you tell them to stop, but the thing about it, remember when I say sometimes you can't control other people's decisions, only your own. So, what would be the right thing to do if your partner, if your police officer partner makes a bad choice or does something wrong that he knows wrong, that you know is wrong? What is the first thing you would do personally?
Like try to help them do something good.
And how would you do that?
To like show them the how if they forgot that if the police officer rewind.
No, there's no rewind. It's okay.
We're gonna stop.
What is it? What is the? How are you going to show them? If they already doing it, that means they choose to do it, right? So, what are you supposed to do if somebody does something, make a decision? Do you do the same thing that they do if it's wrong?
No.
Okay, so what would be the best solution? Because you're not gonna be 7 years old forever. One day you're gonna be 17. One day you're gonna be 27. One day you're gonna be 37. One day, Lord will, you're gonna be 47, 57, and
67, 87,
as you get older, you should get wiser. Sometimes, we learn slower than others. Sometimes things don't always click, but I'm not a police officer. You have a cousin.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Aunt Lissa?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember your cousin Alfred? He used to play football. So he's a police officer. He's a federal police officer.
He's a traffic police officer.
So sometimes.
Only a traffic police officer and a police officer.
Well, what you have to do in that then
Stop
is
traffic,
we have to. You have to do training.
Oh.
So first thing about training is you have to.
Both ways.
Yeah, that's basic traffic direction. But for you, in order for you to get to that point, you have to become a police officer. In order for you to become a police officer, you will have to finish training. In order for you to finish training,
and walk on the
you will have to take
lines.
You will have to take the
crossing.
Well, no, you will have to take the steps in getting to that level.
Oh, and tell people to walk on the crossing if they don't know, and tell people to walk on the crossing and look both ways before they walk on crossing if they don't know how to go in the road correctly.
Sure, and that's important because I'm gonna tell you this too, son, and you know this. I'm sure you know when before you was even born. When mommy was still pregnant with you, she got in a car accident. And thank God for keeping y'all safe because look, she came home the same day. She got in a five car accident.
She got 5 cars?
So a car hit her.
Oh.
And she hit another car, and I don't remember. I think she might have been the first person to get hit. So I remember I was at home with your grandfather. Rest in peace to Mr. Robert. But I was like, I had to go. I went to the accident site, and I'm like, at the time I was like, yeah, my fiance and my son, they was there, but they told me where you were. I want to say you was at Centera somewhere. I think you might have been at. I don't remember what hospital mommy was at, but I remember coming there. You know, she was like, "Oh yeah, everything's fine."
Oh
And
my God.
even before then, I knew. I said, "Man, you're gonna be you're a survivor. You're gonna be special. You're gonna be very strong." And when you was born, you was already alert. You was already attentive. You was already independent. You know, you was crawling at like 5 months, 4 months, I think. Then started walking early. But here's the interesting thing, son. Here's the interesting thing about you. You always been very much you. And as years went on, you know, even after mommy and daddy separated and no longer lived together, no longer married, you know, you always showed your strength. You're a very unique child, very special child. I always said that. I always believed that just because the things that you were doing and the things that I felt, do you know that daddy, God bless daddy, was something very remarkable.
Yeah.
And do you know what that is?
No.
No. You don't have to yell, but daddy has dreams.
Oh.
Daddy Daddy has dreams, and I remember I remember when I was younger, when I might have been, I think I might have been a teenager.
Or 17?
I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. I always wanted you. I always wanted you, meaning I always wanted a son. I knew in my spirit that I would have one day, and just like Granddaddy Thomas, I knew that there was gonna be some things that that bonded us together.
Oh.
You're your own person, but there's certain things special about your own individuality. But there's some things too that we are just alike. You know, you're very sensitive. You're very forgiving. You can be a crybaby at times. That's why I say sometimes, even though you are autistic and have ADHD and all that, you are still special and you can still do things. And I don't want to
What?
make excuses
Oh.
for you.
Shoot.
I know that you need time. I know that you need attention. I know that you need what you need. You need care. So I do want you to know, son, that I love you and I support anything that you want to be.
Cool.
So if you want to be a police officer, that's fine.
Oh, if you want
to be a track star, a firefighter, whatever you want to be, just as long as you're not hurting anybody. You're not stealing.
Oh.
You're not lying. You're not doing bad things. So I want you to know that.
Okay.
So let's tell the people.
See.
Let's tell the listeners listening.
Oh my gosh.
You know, some of the things that you do right now. Like, what grade are you in?
Second.
And When's your birthday?
September 26, 2024.
2000, no. You're 7.
2016.
Right. So you have to know that, your favorite subject is what?
Social studies and science.
Social studies and science, and why is that?
Because we learn famous African Americans like Martin Luther King Jr. and not Benjamin Franklin. Because I think he did. No, yeah, Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin isn't black.
Yeah, well, we didn't about him.
George Washington Carver.
I'm an African
Booker T.
American.
Washington. Well, yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you this.
Obonga.
I'm gonna tell you this, son. Let me be the first to tell you this.
I'm African American.
Well, we can be recognized as that, but you are an American. You are a black American young man. However, we're trying to change the words. Like, mommy's black, daddy's black. We're melanated people. Whether we're indigenous people, whether we're indigenous people or whether we are descendants. But remember this. Remember this, son.
Okay. What? And what? We're gonna pause it.
Remember this, son. There will be people who will tell you who you are, but when you know who you are, they can't tell you anything.
Okay.
But you have to remember that mom, daddy, grandma, granddaddy, uncle, you have to, these are people who love you. Auntie, cousins, family loves you, yes. And family's important. So now that we had got a little small biography about you, is there anything else left that you want to tell the listeners before we get out of here?
Don't lie. Sometimes I know I do, but I'm trying to stop that, so don't lie. Or don't bite my nails, or don't bite your nails like me. I'm trying to stop that too.
Alright, so don't lie, don't bite your nails.
And don't pick your lips and don't dig your nose.
Don't pick your lips and dig in your nose. Okay, those are good things to say, let people know, because there are some adults that still do it. Old habits die hard. Daddy, he's been biting his nails since I was 4, so it's hard because it's I done tried different things. Again.
Probably just get something like on your nails so you stop like me.
But I
don't get that things on my nails anymore.
Yeah, you're right. I should put things, but I put things on my nails before and put gloves on, but I was still doing it.
Probably put hot sauce on your nails.
Well, I'm just gonna let the hot sauce off, because hot sauce don't bother me. I'll just get some chicken and just rub it on with my fingers, and then it'll just be hot there.
Probably just then put those things that looks like nail polish, but not nail polish. It tastes like wax.
Because I think it tastes like wax. Yeah. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'll just cut my fingers off.
How do you put those wax thingies?
No fingers. I'll just my nails will be like this. I'll be walking on my hands. Well, not walking on my hand, but I'll look like a little snail. I have like these snail fingers. But
no, you just need to put those wax thingies on your nails. That looks like a nail polish, but it's not. It just tastes like wax. Then it will make you. And it tastes weird.
Well, how do you know?
Wax. Cause mommy put them on my fingers before, and then while I was biting, this tastes disgusting. That made me stop, and those are on me.
Come on in.
Yeah. So bye.
So yeah, we had housekeeping. And anyways, so as we close out, don't lie, don't bite your nails. And as always, stay safe, stay prosperous, productive.
And look both ways when you're crossing the street and use a crossing.
Right, and positive. This is Blair, the Cancer Care Bear, and Jamison. And I'm out. Thank you for listening.